is the Bible. Am I right about it? That inspired. And you don't need all these other books either. You know these books that they say that they were back then, but they're not inspired? Amen. Like the book of Nephi.
Yeah.
We don't need the book of Nephi. It ain't inspired.
Okay.
That's for my deep folk. Where my deep folk out there? The folk nowadays want to go get the book of Nephi. Bring it all out. It's not inspired. The Bible said he has given us all things that pertain to life and godliness. He said there are many other things that Jesus did which are not written in this book, but these are written that you might believe.
Yes, sir.
Everything I need to know is in the Bible.
Yes, sir.
I can tell y'all already upset.
Preach on, brother. Go on, brother.
But you know, today we ought to understand by what authority are we doing these things. And is it from heaven or is it from men? We need to also understand and ask ourselves the question. The fact that just because mom and dad is in it. Help me somebody.
Go ahead.
I want to say this here, and I want you to understand, I'm not in the church just because my father's a member of the church. You see, because there comes a time when you got to find stuff for yourself. Am I right about it? There comes a time where daddy can only go so far. And you're going to have to know it for yourself. But you see, I can read it for myself. Am I right about it? You see, daddy can teach me some things, and that's great. But then there's some times where I know the church is right off because I can read it for myself. Am I right about it? And every child of God ought to know the Bible is right for themselves.
Yes, sir.
Not because your daddy said so. Not because it was just good enough for mama. But because you know it's right because I can read it. Amen.
All right.
For myself. Not only that, but the baptism of John. They asked a question here. I'm not through with my text yet. Because I can tell y'all getting kind of nervous. Let me get back to my text. Y'all looking kind of nervous out there. You didn't look confused yet, but you look kind of nervous. Amen. You know, I learned to look at looks. You know, when we were coming along, Brother Mary, my mother used to have a look where it didn't matter where you were in the church building. If she just can make eye contact with you, you knew exactly what the look meant before you even met her. Amen. Help me somebody. And so I learned to read looks. So I'm looking at y'all, and I can tell y'all want me to get back to my text. All right. All right. But let me go back to my text. So you see the baptism of John, they asked, where was it? Was it from heaven? Or was it from men? And Jesus addressed this question to the chief priests and elders and the people in verse 23. But Jesus took the wise in their own cunning. Either answer they gave would convict themselves. In other words, there was no way. In other words, if we say that it's from John, you're going to say, well, how come? And we fear the people that say, well, how come you didn't believe it? John is a great prophet. But if we say it's from God, then you're going to ask us, how come we didn't believe it and just did it? So either way, they had themselves trapped. And so Jesus said, well, then they said, well, what are you doing? He said, well, if you can't answer my question, I ain't going to answer your question. Help me somebody.
That's all right.
Then he goes on to say the question, but is it from heaven? Or is it from men? And you know, we got a lot of folk today that are members of the Baptist church. Because, I tell you, I don't mind, I call out a name. Y'all stay with me here, amen. Y'all look frowned up when amen. I told y'all from the very beginning, I believe in calling out names. Amen. I've got, you know, I was around here. Am I right? The Bible is right. And you know, we got a lot of folk today that are part of the Baptist church because of John the Baptist. So there's a couple of things that you got to realize about John the Baptist. First of all, John was only the forerunner. You see, John was just the best man. It's kind of like when I was getting married. When I came out and walked out there, nobody stood up. But then all of a sudden, my wife, they just opened the door up. Everybody looked like they stood up on their feet. I wish I had somebody could help me here. You see, and then they came down the aisle. And then there was what you call a best man. And he held the ring and made sure I stayed together.
Yes,
and make sure I was all together. And you see, but when the marriage ceremony was over, why, the best man did not leave. I wish I had somebody that could say amen every now and then, but he didn't leave with my wife. Am I right about it? And you see what I'm trying to say here? A lot of y'all are following John the Baptist, and he was never a member of the Lord's church. He was even